From the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything, guys.
Pokemon Ranger, I choose you!
What's up, my dear boys and girls from everywhere, it's your Ranger Boy here, and welcome to another review of the Pokemon X, Y, and Z anime. Today it will get emotional for the very last time with our XYZ family in episode 47, The Endless Zero, until the day we meet again. And wow, what a suitable title for the last episode, and I will say that this episode indeed was full of emotions and some surprises you might already know. So, without any more hesitations, and for the last time with our XYZ family, let's get right into the review! As a reliable son, unlike Red, Ash calls his mother and Prof. Oak to tell him that he's going to come home soon. Wait a minute, why the hell is Professor Oak at Ash's home alone with a lonely mother? But let's put that disturbing image aside because we are seeing Dahlia hoping that Ash wasn't that much of an annoyance for the rest of the gang. But they quickly are making clear that they had a lot of fun with Ash and that they enjoyed the journey. Of course, as a very young girl, Bonnie especially really enjoyed all this fun time together, and realizing that it will end soon makes her really sad. Unfortunately, this sadness won't disappear even during a meal, which in the end leaves every member left with worries. But no time for worries since Professor Sycamore decided to visit our heroes for one last time before heading towards his research in the Frost Cave with Alan and Mayron traveling together with him. And after Sycamore talks about his new discovery about the Megalith, Ash suddenly realizes that Alan doesn't have a Mega Ring anymore, which Alan quickly explains that he gave his Megastone and ring for investigations, since it was involved in the Lysander incident, and that this time he wants to search for the Charizard X for himself, just like Corinna and Diantha did in the past. And with a manly handshake, Ash and Alan promise each other to one day battle each other again. And just like their husbands did, Serena and Mayron are exchanging words of gratitude, since especially Serena helped her out so much by rescuing Chespy, and with one last marvelous from Professor Sycamore, Alan and Mayron have left the building. Sadly, thanks to that departure, Bonnie got reminded again that Ash and Serena will leave Kalos soon, and to the displease of Dedenne, she again gets depressed. Oh, I totally forgot to mention the Team Rocket scene with the Photoshop Flare event, but I guess that's not so important to the main story. But little side note, while we have witnessed Team Rocket rushing through the airport to get their flight, they accidentally lost their souvenirs, which, of course, we're teasing Sun and Moon. Oh, Pokemon writers. Now that was depressing. But anyway, it's not our time to be depressed. And that's what I would like to say to Bonnie, since they also arrived at the airport where Serena's flight will start soon. And the closer they're getting to part ways, the more depressed our little hero gets. Now everybody are saying goodbye to each other, which is just a wonderful scene full of emotions. But as emotional as this goodbye is, Dedenne doesn't seem to handle these emotions well, and therefore decides to run away from all this. So now everybody is searching for Dedenne, and it's only thanks to Pikachu that they were able to find it. And while Dedenne is sobbing, Bonnie finally decides to grow up even more by telling her beloved partner that of course she totally understands it, and that Bonnie also wanted the group to stay together forever, but that Ash and Serena also have dreams they have to accomplish, and therefore have to part ways to fulfill their dreams. But the next thing just blew my mind. Bonnie then states that she not only wants to become a trainer, but she also wants to beat everybody. She wants to beat her brother, and at the same time she also wants to be a professional performer just like Serena. So she is aiming for that title as well. And in the end, she wants to beat Ash so that she will become the #1 trainer in Kalos. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. What a goal. What a goal and what a potential. And this really motivational speech in the end led to Dedenne accepting the farewell to help Bonnie to achieve all that. And then finally the time has arrived for Serena to leave Kalos. But before she leaves, she tells Ash that he is the main goal of hers and that she will become an even more attractive woman. Wow, shots fired at the other shippings! And to even underline that statement even more, you all know what happened next. I mean, I made a whole live reaction out of it, so no need to discuss my fanboying in regards of that scene. And while seeing Serena flying away to Hoenn, Clement also tells Ash that he will give his best to be an inventor who can make Pokemon happy. And before it's time for Ash to return back home, Clement has one last request. One last battle with Ash, and like always, when it comes to battles, Ash can't say no. And then we are seeing flashbacks of each and every character we have been watching for the last 3 years. And I gotta say, I cried. I really cried. I really cried a lot while watching all this, because the emotions and the memories connected with all those flashbacks really got into me. And even after rewatching it for so many times, I still feel really sad. And after the flashbacks, underlined with the world theme, has ended, we are seeing Ash, like always, returning back, and with the last words, and to our own way, the final episode with the XY gang ends. I still have to realize that this will be the last time to make this review before, you know, heading to Sun and Moon, and it surely makes me sad. But, oh well, let's go right on the rating. What can I say about the story? Just everything story-wise was full packed with emotions. A main part was of course that desperation of Barney, which in the end got adapted by Dedenne, and after realizing that Barney grew up even more and also reveals her future goal, that she not only wants to become a trainer, but she also wants to beat Ash, she wants to beat Serena, and she wants to beat Clement, to in the end conquer the title of #1 trainer in Kalas. What a huge goal. What a huge goal. That's so impressive. Of course, everything in regards of today's story was connected with Barney's sadness, but I also loved the little things which weren't connected to it. Of course, Alan's decision to start from zero by searching for the Megastone himself instead of letting it given by him, so that he and Charizard won't ever be used by someone like Lysandre again. And this being connected with Sycamore's research is just awesome. And then we have Serena's goal of not only improving herself by going to Hoenn, but also she states that she wants to become a more attractive woman for Ash. Oh wow, she not only wants to become the best performer, but also she wants to become the best Ash waifu! And with the kiss, she declared war on every other girl, I guess. And last but not least, we have Clement's goal to become an inventor who can make Pokemon happy. And overall, I just love this ending. Perfect ending, 10 out of 10. What can I say about the focus? The focus is Endless Zero until the day we meet again. I don't know what to say about the Endless Zero. I guess this is just another definition of restarting, because each and every character of the main gang are restarting to achieve a goal, and I really don't have to elaborate that again, right? And the second part about meeting each other again, I really hope so, and this part also leaves so much open for the future, but I still will give it a 10 out of 10. And last but not least, the animation, just like always, and maybe for the last time, animation wise, this was by far one of the most impressive ones when it comes to facial expressions. I mean, look at that one picture of Serena and you actually know what I mean. Another good example was the battle between Ash and Clement with those glittering eyes. And speaking of glittering eyes, of course, Ash's eyes after receiving that kiss, which in my opinion expresses that he actually felt that. I mean, come on, after nearly 20 years of density, someone had to break through that. And the kissing scene itself was also animated in a way I rarely have seen. And of course, that was because that the writers knew that the fans have been waiting for this, and they fucking delivered. And don't we forget about Barney and her several expressions of sadness. And I loved how you could see that each and every time, the more sad she became, the more have her eyes expressed that sadness. And also a personal fave was of course the flashbacks, but I talked about that more than enough. In the end, 10 out of 10, and this episode definitely deserves a 10 out of 10. It was a perfect ending, it was not a black and white ending, and I hope you guys will watch this episode, since this was the last episode with our heroes. And I will say that I enjoyed every episode of XY and XY and Z for the last 3 years, and it was overall an amazing experience. I met so many of you guys. So many of you guys are just loyal subscribers. I love all of you guys. I also met so many reviewers, and thanks to that series, I now know how it is to have a real family to bond with, and I will forever be grateful to those 4 characters right here. And in my opinion, forever the best crew of all time. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this review just like always, and hopefully see you guys in the comment section down below. Bye guys!